Welcome to Bird for Joy, a show about discovering all the different ways that birdwatching can bring joy into our lives. I'm Candilynn Fite, your gracious host and fledgling birder. Here at Bird for Joy, we focus on listening and watching the birds around us, being curious and learning what the birds have to teach us about joy, life, and ourselves. So grab your favorite beverage, settle on your perch, and let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the Mini-sode about sparkbirds. Sparkbird is defined as the bird that helped spark your interest in birding. It helped open your eyes to the incredible beauty, mystery, and excitement of birds and nature. It's that pivotal moment where your world is changed and there's no going back. For me, that last statement rings so true. There's no way I am going back to not being a birder. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure how or why I didn't begin birding before now. All I can think of is that I was trapped in some kind of soundproof bubble, drifting along life and clearly oblivious to the joys of birdwatching. On the Roger Tory Institute website, writer Arthur Pearson describes sparkbird as the aha moment, as the experience of a bird that turns you into the birder for life. From the website 10,000birds.com, sparkbird is described as the species that mutates one's benign regard for nature into a seething, immoderate interest in avifauna. As for my sparkbird, which was more like a spark moment, a full-fledged born-again moment, the point of no return, should have been the rainbow-colored bird I caught sight of flitting about a small brushy area in a Texas state park. There I was, walking on a nature trail, when a flash of color caught my eye. I glued the binoculars to my eyes and admired one of the most breathtaking tiny birds I've ever seen, the painted bunting. But remember, I said it should have been my sparkbird. Well, that's because I had been following an enticing bird song into the forest when the flashy little bunting distracted me. The entire 10 minutes I stood and watched the painted bunting fluttering in and out of a scrubby yaupon bush, it seemed as if another bird was trying to lure me with its distinct three-note song that descended in pitch. What I heard was, "Come find me," over and over. So I sent the painted bunting a thankful sentiment for gracing me with its presence and set out again to find the bird calling to me. It felt like the bird was playing tricks on me, hiding and changing locations. Just as I would approach the area where its trill was the loudest, it would stop. I would stand still and wait, only to hear it 2 or 3 trees away. We played this come find me hide-and-seek game for about an hour until I caught sight of movement high above me. It took me a minute or two to locate the bird in my binoculars. "I found you," I sang out. It was a tiny, grayish bird with a black cap and mask. I studied it for a few seconds before it darted out of sight again. And right there, I plopped myself on the forest floor and Googled tiny grayish bird with black head and mask. Go. I had just sighted a black-capped chickadee. I played a short YouTube video with its bird song. There was a slight difference, but I was pretty sure that I had made a positive ID. My first positive ID. I heard the chickadee's "Come Find Me" song all the way back to my car. I heard it in my head on the drive home, and, to my surprise, I heard it as soon as I stepped out of my car. I had black-capped chickadees in my own backyard? How had I missed them all this time? My only answer was that I had been living in that soundproof bubble. But there was something magical about discovering the chickadee on the trail that day. Something about its beckoning song, "Come Find Me," woke something up inside of me. It caused a stirring in my soul, ignited a spark. It's difficult to explain, and I come off sounding like a quirky bird myself when I attempt to tell anyone else, especially non-birding folks. Upon further research of the black-capped chickadee, I have now learned I did misidentify my sparkbird. It's actually the Carolina chickadee, commonly found in my region, South Central Texas, whereas the black-capped chickadee's territory is further up north. The two species are almost identical and very difficult to tell apart, but one of the differences is their song, which is why when I listened to the YouTube video, I detected a variation. The chickadee I heard in the park was higher pitched and had a very distinct 3-note song. The video described it as saying "fee-bee-bee," but I clearly heard "come find me." The memory in my hide-and-seek experience with the Carolina chickadee will remain imprinted in my heart and mind forever. I believe that one doesn't necessarily need to encounter a particular species of bird or have quote-unquote a spark bird moment to be a birder. Maybe it's an article you read or a TV program that stirs an interest. Or perhaps you're interested in ecology and conservation and you realize that one can learn a lot about those subjects by watching the birds. Maybe a Carolina wren built a nest in your mud boot on your back porch, and now you are waiting patiently for the nestlings to leave so you can have your boots back. Trust me, they don't stay long. So what about you? Is there a bird species or a moment when you realized the birding bug had bitten you? The bird experience that sparked your love affair with birdwatching? If not, that's okay. But when it happens, you'll know. There is simply no denying it. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. If you are enjoying the show, I would love it if you would follow or subscribe, rate, review, and then let others know about the podcast so we can continue to build a community of like-minded birders. A big shout out to composer Jonathan Boyle for his cheerful show music called Plucking Happy. The spoken lyrics were written and read by me, and the full version with lyrics will follow this episode. Until next time, stay chirpy, my friends, and get outside, feel the sun upon your face and the wind in your hair, and bird for joy's sake. Bird for joy's sake, when you're needing more, a new beginning, feeling lost, alone, or blue, go into nature. Stroll to the melodious tunes of birdsong. Let it refresh your soul, fill your heart, lift your spirits. Yes, bird, for joy's sake. Witness the winged wonders, flitting, fluttering, playing hide and tweet. Is there anything else so sweet? I think not. We'll save for the chitter-chatter of my own nestlings as they filled my early days. But sigh no more, for they have long left the nest, and I now strive to find myself once again, discovering new things that I do best. Bird, for joy's sake, for our feathered friends have much joy to share, and it doesn't cost a dime, only time. And I don't know about you, but I am willing to give, to have a chance to live out my days, filled with curiosity, hope, and wonder, learning patience, the art of slowing down and being fully present, living in the moment, something I have long strived to achieve. Bird, for joy's sake, and keep looking up. Let their constant cheer infect you, their tenacity provide you with lessons of never giving up and looking on the brighter side of life. Prepare for entertainment with their quirky, chirpy silliness. Oh my, so much cuteness, happiness, and whimsy. You can't help but smile. And suddenly you'll discover worries cease, frustrations fade, chaos calms, and troubles melt away like snow in the spring. You will find yourself looking up and forward into the horizon, surrounded by song, hope, and happiness perched in your heart, feeling renewed and fulfilled. Go out into nature. Take a stroll, let the avifauna rejuvenate your soul, and bird for joy's sake.